Today's Edison format deck profile, Evil Heroes. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we will be breaking down an Edison format deck profile, one of the more beloved hero archetypes, the Evil Heroes. So we're gonna have a nice blend of some elemental in there too, but then those badass evil heroes as well. Alright guys, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future deck profiles. But starting out the deck, it is a hero deck, so of course we need the boy himself. We need our one copy of Elemental Hero Stratos, able to search out any hero from the deck. And of course, if you have other hero monsters on the field when he's summoned, you can also go the alternative route and pop some spell and trap cards on the field. So, not too bad, not too bad. It kind of gives you a little bit more of a insurance policy. So, one copy of the boy Elemental Hero Stratos, followed by one copy of Elemental Hero Neos Alias, followed by two copies of Elemental Hero Prisma. Now, nice thing with him is you can reveal a fusion monster from your deck and then send a monster who's specifically, you gotta remember that, specifically listed on the card to the graveyard, and he becomes that monster till the end phase. So, not too bad. It can help you set up some plays with Dark Calling or Miracle Fusion. So, two copies of Elemental Hero Prisma, followed by one copy of Elemental Hero Ocean. And going into our Evil Heroes, we have two copies of Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy, followed by two copies of the badass Evil Hero Malicious Edge. So, definitely a cool one right there. So, two copies of Malicious Edge to round out our Evil Heroes, followed by a copy of Gores, of course. Then we have our three copies of Caius the Shadow Monarch. And going into one of the big fusion materials, the Big Piece Golem. So, not too bad. It's going to give an extra 2100 attack to Evil Hero Dark Gaia when he gets fusioned out. So, one copy of Big Piece Golem, followed by a copy of Neospatian Grand Mole. Definitely good for bouncing back your opponent's monsters. And we do have the Neos Grand Mole, or Neos, whatever his fusion is, in the extra deck as well too. So, we can go that route if you really want to. So, one copy of Neospatian Grand Mole. Then we have two copies of Snowman Eater, followed by a copy of Cyber Dragon as well too, to round out the monsters in the deck. Now moving on to the spells, we have three copies of our E-Emergency Call, because it is pretty much the best searcher in our deck, followed by one copy of Reinforcement of the Army, the second best searcher in our deck since they're all warriors, so get out your E-Heroes a little bit quicker. So one copy of Rhoda, followed by one copy of Future Fusion. That's going to be the big card of the deck for you to send monsters from your deck to the graveyard to help turbo out those Elemental Hero fusions, or even just get monsters in the graveyard to make some bigger plays as well too. So one copy of Future Fusion in here, followed by three copies of Dark Calling. So with this, you're able to banish monsters for a Evil Hero fusion from your hand or graveyard. So, pretty good stuff right there. So we got three copies of Dark Calling. Then we have two copies of Miracle Fusion, which is very similar to Dark Calling. It's just going to be for your Elemental Hero fusions. But yeah, you're going to be banishing for that as well too. So, two copies of Miracle Fusion, followed by a copy of Brain Control, a copy of Mystical Space Typhoon, a copy of Heavy Storm, a copy of Book of Moon, the ugly Platinum version, because Evil Heroes, they got some ugly in them. So, one copy of Book of Moon to round out the spells. So moving on to the traps, we got two copies of Bottomless Trap Hole, we have two copies of Dimensional Prison, we have a copy of Dust Tornado, followed by a Mirror Force, a Solemn Judgment, because it's always fun to just say no to your opponent, and a copy of Return from the Different Dimension. Since we're going to be banishing so many things off of Miracle Fusion or off of Dark Calling, might give us the upper edge that we need in a duel against our opponent. So one copy of that as well too, to round out the deck. Now moving on to the extra deck. We have 2 copies, but unfortunately I only have 1. But I already decided I was going to make this deck profile before the second one came in the mail. So 2 copies of Evil Hero Malicious Fiend, followed by 2 copies of Evil Hero Dark Gaia, who gets an attack equal to the combined original attack of his fusion materials. So I'm going to be using that big piece golem, or even the another monster is in the extra deck that we're about to show you coming up. And we have 3 copies of Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, because he is pretty much the best Elemental Hero fusion going in Edison format. So 3 copies of him, followed by 2 copies of the Elemental Hero Gaia, followed by 2 copies of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because if we were to have a side deck, we'd have that second Cyber Dragon in there. So, you know, gotta have 2 for 2. Followed by our Elemental Hero Divine Neos, which is going to be our big future fusion target, besides, you know, Absolute Zero and, you know, and all that kind of stuff too, if you wanted to go that route. But so he's going to be dumping a pretty good amount of cards to the graveyard. He's pretty much the hero 5-headed dragon, I guess you could say. So 1 copy of Elemental Hero Divine Neos, followed by 1 copy of Elemental Hero Terra Firma, same deal pretty much. Followed by 1 copy of the Elemental Hero Grand Neos. Okay, so that is his correct name. Elemental Hero Grand Neos. And then we also have the multiple piece golem, which could also be for the Dark Gaia fusion as well too, to round out the extra deck. So there you have it, guys. That is the Evil Hero deck for Edison format. Let me know down below, what would you guys do differently? Now I'm sure you could probably figure out a way to, I don't know, maybe tech in a Malicious, you know, a Destiny Hero Malicious or 2, ideally. But let me know down below what you guys would do differently. What would be your lines of play with the deck? You know, I think it's a pretty cool deck, actually. I mean, heroes are definitely fun in Edison format. But of course, be sure to check out those links down below. Check out the Etsy store, because we got a lot of cool stuff going up. Check out rpkgaming.com. If you're going to buy anything Edison related or anything else, be sure to use that TCG player link down below as well too. It helps the channel more than you can know. And of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye, and good night.